and good morning to all other comebacks watching this channel. Welcome to another episode of Political Hard Talk. I am your host, none other than the greatest Laborite alive. Good morning, my people. Good morning, Whirlers. Now, guys, so last night I played a clip of the happenings that was happening in Jamaica with the security minister and the transport minister. There was another part to the clip. I am told that Nia, is that her name? Nia, is also out firing shots at Dr. Chang. So we are going to play that clip this morning. We have some news updates as well from JIS. We're going to play that also and break it down as per usual. Also, when I came off live last night, I saw this article from the BOJ, and it says BOJ revises Hurricane Melissa projections amid faster than expected recovery. See? So, big up Dr. Nigel Clark every time. Big up the Prime Minister. Big up Flavor Williams. And big up to all of the people them that, is working behind the scenes. Our economy is robust. It is stable. And it is taking its time adjusting to the situation. And Jamaica is all the better off for it, my people. See? Let's roll out the morning shout outs and let's get into the program. See? Jakey, big up yourself. Sylvan, big up yourself. Beverly Clark, good morning. Jem, big up yourself. June, big up yourself. Mark Nemad, Father Dark Knight, big up yourself. Lana Hudson, big up yourself. Good morning. Anthony, big up yourself. Anita Earl Food, good morning. Bertie, Anterific. Marcia Allen, big up yourself. Good morning. Larry, we just see you pop in. Good morning, my boss. What that? Damien. Damiana. You know what they, me, and alright, whatever I be. Good morning. Big up to everybody else that is watching. Good morning to my beautiful mother-in-law. Remember to give the live a thumbs up, my people. We are less than probably 5 subscription away from hitting 18,000 subscribers. So I believe we will hit that today. If we don't hit it already, because I never checked this morning, but I checked last night before I go on my bed. And we were like 9 subs away from 18,000. So we're almost there, my people. So big up on yourself, everybody that has been here participating in the movement. Good morning, Mama Winsome Nemad Shah. Good morning to all of the comebacks that is watching behind the scenes. All of the silent viewers, good morning as well. See, so let's get into it, my people. Which one do I want first? I don't want the casa, I don't want the news. I don't want the news first. Don't talk to me. Tell me what I go on. Also, tell me if you not see me. Tell me if you not hear me. Tell me what I go on with the audio and the visuals, my people. See? The last comment me say after Mama win some, me not say nothing else. So, you talk to me and tell me what I got on. See? And so she want the drama first. Alright. Let's move to the drama then. Arnold, big up yourself. Good morning. Just see you pop in as well.
At 5. I'm Ricardo Brooks, and it's time for the cover story. Now, 2 senior cabinet ministers have launched broadsides against one against the Jamaica Gleaner and one against civil society organizations. Transport Minister and one against civil society organizations. Transport Minister Darrell Vaz issued a statement Tuesday morning that was prompted by the Gleaner's article titled "Golding Seeks Probe into $1.4 billion School Bus Deal." The newspaper reported that opposition leader Mark Golding had written in July 2025 to 3 of the country's anti-corruption bodies requesting an investigation into the Transport Ministry's procurement of 110 used school buses.
No say people in turbo. Pitney them school bus, where and I like say PNP no know say we have the policy this. As a matter of fact, we have this policy from 2010, 2011, From then time the school bus then for buy, And PNP win power, in 2012, my people. And discarded the school bus, See? Them win power in 2012. You can research this. This is researchable. Mike Henry, while he was transport minister, I believe, had set aside, before Daryl Vaz took over from him at the time, had set aside millions of dollars to buy school bus, retrofitted ones. And as soon as the PNP won power in 2012, they scrapped it. So Anna like say, they don't know say there was a policy to buy school buses, and Mark Golding still a right to corruption, anti-corruption bodies to ask the probe into the school bus. So what happened? You pity they don't forget a school bus. Good morning, Steve. And good morning to my beautiful wife. Good morning, baby. Anyway, we continue to listen, my people.
Is brought in from the United States. Now, the transport minister, in an interview on Nationwide this morning, alleged that the newspaper had been on a coordinated push to undermine the government.
Good morning, Melody.
Not only in relation to the school bus, but many other. And I just need to remind you and ask the listeners to look at who is it that has been on a campaign to destroy Andrew Holness. Where do those articles come from every week, week in, week out, during election, before election, and after election?
Daryl Vaz there, the transport minister, he says he plans to expose what he claims is a coordinated attempt to undermine the Holness government. For his part, the National Security Minister, Dr. Horace Chang, accused civil society organizations of living off blood money. In an interview on Nationwide this morning, yesterday, he name-dropped Jamaicans for Justice several times. He was reacting to the advocacy of civil society organizations, saying that they consistently undermine the work of the police force for financial gain. Dr. Chang argued that the consistent broadsides against the police from the groups was selfish and unfair.
It was what I consider a broadside. And
if we never listen to things like JIS and, ODPEM and PBCJ, we would never see all of these things, because look, this is good news, that the economy is recovering, You know, see Star, you know, see Gleaner, you know, see Observer, none of them now carry this, people. Thank God for Nationwide sometime, because if we never have them too, we don't know enough things. This is good news for the country, but you don't see nobody carry this. None of them, none of the big top newspaper them.
Just selfish and clear broadside against police officers because they weren't using cameras.
By whom?
It was designed by various people in the community. There were the Jamaicans for Justice, others who claim their right to life, some of these pastors who claim they know more about policing than police, and just giving a highlighting some section of the media.
Dr. Horace Chang there, the National Security Minister, he says the civil society groups are criticizing the police for their own benefit.
When the police are praying the murderers, if one gets shot, the police are murderer. That kind of discussion must be discontinued. I have to just raise it because it is young Jamaicans' right, committed to justice and right, whose commitment to fair play is being questioned. And they will have the strength and the training to withstand it when their families start being alluded to in public spaces. It becomes a problem. The people in Jamaica that justice all years must stop this. They are living off blood money.
Dr. Horace Chang. We're now being joined by the Principal Director of National Integrity Action, NIA, Dr. Gavin Mars, for a reaction. Dr. Mars, thank you so much for joining me.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good.
All right.
I'm good.
Let's start with the Security Minister. Were you surprised?
I don't know if surprise puts it in perspective good enough. I frankly don't understand what is happening, and I am still confused as to one, where it is coming from, and two, what is the aim of it. I think the commentary was unfortunate and inconsistent with the partnership and collaborative approach that we have been having. And then beyond that, I think we're losing the plot. If we're building Jamaica together and we're all citizens of Jamaica, we all have a constitutional right to both seek information, to share information, and to speak up on things. So anyone who is saying that doing that is dangerous, I'm questioning what is it dangerous to, and whom is it that's asking for it to be dangerous? So I'm really confused.
Yeah, let me ask the question this way, as I've heard it put, that a lot of the times the civil society.
Let me ask you now. I want to ask you this as well as I need you to answer me this. Does anybody in the comment section see JUMP or NIA or any other civil group in Jamaica as helping to build the nation? You tell me yes or no. You see them as people that is helping, or groups that is helping to build the nation? Because I certainly don't. It's a no for me.
Groups posture in a way, and their advocacy is done in a way that makes things worse than they appear, because in so doing, they're able to secure the funding of international donors to pursue whatever projects are being proposed. Is that true?
Well, I don't know of anyone else, but I am very certain that what the work that we have been doing, and I say we here, because civil society is a broad group that is collaborating and working together, and we work in partnership. So it's critical to point out something here. Most of the funding that has come into Jamaica and the development space come from the same spaces. You're talking about the United Nations, you're talking about the European Union, you're talking about FCDO, you're talking about former USAID, now the US government. All of these things, both the government and society get funding to do things around certain priorities. And these priorities are national priorities. So if you're saying that the national priorities are not good, then that's an issue. But I'm very certain that we, as Jamaica...
At no point in time did Horace Chang say that. Horace Chang said they need to stop acting as if the police are murderers. That is what Horace Chang said. He don't say nothing about nothing else. And because they act like the police are murderer, they get to be leech and parasite. See, so anytime they walk and tell people, say, Jamaica corrupt, that is why we can move in a corruption index. See, JUMP and all of them, they're doing a disservice to Jamaica. See, because when time they act like Jamaica is the worst and them talk to their foreign counterpart and them foreign counterpart think Jamaica is the worst. Remember, them foreign counterpart not live in Jamaica. They know they are see on a daily basis what go on. So, them are going to believe that Jamaica corrupt. See? So, them are doing a disservice to the country. We need to disband them. They're a terrorist movement. All of them.
Have recognized that crime and violence is an issue. And on crime and violence, the other issue, is anti-corruption and integrity in public office. And asking for our civil society partners, asking of them something that the government isn't doing is rather strange. I know we're doing well as a society and as a community, and I know we have championed this, but I'm saying that we are part of the solution. So anybody who attempts to attack us, I think I don't know what is happening there.
But in saying you're part of the solution, would you agree or would you deny the criticism that there is a posture that says everything government does is wrong or not being done well, and therefore that gives the impression of being anti-government, or in this case, as the security minister is suggesting, anti-police?
Well, for me, first and foremost, I believe that if I elect you and if I am paying your salary, so I'm saying both the executive and the general government, I am saying that, one, that we're expecting a certain, follow the constitution. We're expecting a certain, follow the rules. We're expecting a certain thing from you because you're government. There's no association of gunmen for me to talk to. There's no association of thieves for me to talk to. I'm expecting you not to behave like a gunman. I'm not saying that you are, and I'm just saying that I'm expecting that the type of behavior and conversation that we are asking and we're holding you to account for is the one that we hold everyone to. Is the one that everyone should be held to. You are held to the account because you are the government, you are the state, you are the ones with the inordinate power, you are the ones who have the power, and we should hold you accountable. If we don't, who can we hold accountable?
Two questions after the break. Stay with me. Dr. Gavin Maz, the Principal Director of NIA. Ricardo Brooks, 2 ministers in 2 days, one taking aim at civil society groups, accusing Jamaicans for Justice of living off blood money, the other taking aim at the media, specifically the Jamaica Gleaner, accusing it of being part of a cabal that is intent on taking down the government. Principal Director of NIA, Dr. Gavin Mars, is with me. Let me go back to the point of how government operates, and you asked the question: who holds the government accountable? But Jamaicans, a lot of Jamaicans say, "But who do you speak on behalf of?" And the problem, let me finish. And the problem they have is that, look, the advocacy always seems to be suggesting that you speak on behalf of a lot of people, when in truth, we lost him. Oh, Dr. Gavin Mars is with me, the Principal Director of National Integrity Action, reacting to two broadsides from two senior cabinet ministers, one yesterday, the Deputy Prime Minister and Security Minister, Dr. Horace Chang, and this morning, the Transport Minister, Darrell Vaz. We're trying to reconnect with him. The accusation from Dr. Chang, JFJ, and Dr. Maz.
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, back with me. So, right. So the allegation goes something like, but you don't speak on behalf of the majority of Jamaican people, and still you posture as if you do. And so they say, why? Why?
So, two things on that. And maybe the first is that in a free and fair and clear democracy, people, citizens, general citizens have a right to speak. That's the first.
Yeah.
And second, which is also very important, is that groups, whether they're civil society of any sort, the church, the business community, different ones, have groups that they speak on, their own groupings. But beyond that, these points that we're making in a democracy allows us to speak. And if there is someone who is trying to say that we do not have that right to speak, they're incorrect. And Jamaicans have, since 1830...
Again, Dr. Horace Chang never said they don't have the right to speak. He's saying whenever there's a police shooting, they come out in defense of the criminals and they act as if the police are murderers. That is the point that Dr. Horace Chang is getting across. When a police officer is killed or a military personnel is killed, we hear nothing from these civic or civil society groups. We don't hear nothing, none at all. We see one 3-year-old baby get killed. We see one 4-year-old baby get killed. And we don't hear nothing from them, none at all. See? Are they only for justice for gunmen, or are they justice for all Jamaicans? That is the question that Horace Chang is asking. And that is the same question that many Jamaicans are asking this morning. Jam don't speak for me. NIR don't speak for me. JFJ don't speak for me. They are all a set of criminals, and they're criminal enablers. They're a criminal organization linked to the mafia of Jamaica and the cult of Jamaica, the People's National Criminal Organization. All they try to do is tear down Jamaica and tear down the government. And when PNP did run the country was worse. And we never see none of them behave so. We never see them come out and this and that, because all of them are affiliated to the People's National Criminal Organization. And when the government in a power, hold of them silent. No way in our world had extra judicial killings like Jamaica when it relates to police and citizens. Whole heap of innocent people. Police all see man pass in a car and see man a chat to woman and go back to kill man in a night. Them not sitting used to that my Jamaica under PNP. And where were these people? We never see them behave so like now. Anytime Labour right in a power, they want to hold Labour right to account for everything. And when PNP in a power, they make everything else slide. They are hypocrites. I will run them out of the country.
Since 1838 and before that.
But is it a matter of not having the right to speak, or is it a matter of asking you to be fair and balanced as best you can? Yeah.
No, the point of fair and balance is this. You're asking, and this is the case, if the state, if somebody who is in power is asking us to be fair and balanced, who is the one who makes the balance? We're the ones who are saying to you that this went away from the rules, that this is breaching the rules, that this one is going this way, and you're saying to me that it's not fair. No, that is incorrect. I'm saying to you, this is incorrect. If you're going to sit and you're presenting a different argument, that's okay. But you cannot expect us to, one, be silent, or two, hold our disagreement because you don't.
He's not saying to be silent. He's saying that when young Jamaicans who elect themselves to serve, see, and they have their families in every part of society, and they go in their course of their duty, see, and in the course of their duty, they apprehend a gunman, or they try to apprehend a gunman, and he opens fire, they return fire, jump, and everybody and their mama fly out pan news, and them try to chastise the police and try to get the police officer in a problem. See? When you try to get him in a problem and them have to take him off duty or whatever, that affecting whole family life. See? Why you don't wait till the investigation say otherwise, then you come out and say something. Dirty jump. Dirty Jamaica for criminal. See? And national integrity asshole. Hold on. Make you not sit down and wait till you hear the investigation say something is untoward here, then you come out. You not fly out as soon as the killing go on. Police need for this, government need for this, and you not hear the specific yet. Enough people, all that we know. Somebody in our community will give problem. Enough time when police come and wipe them out, it is accurate. We know that. See? We continue to listen to people.
Liked being told that they're doing wrong. That's the first.
And so the assumption there is that when you speak, the government is in fact doing wrong.
The assumption is if we say something, we are asking you to follow whether it is built on the facts and if the facts carry through. I'm saying that civil society, and we're speaking here, and I'm speaking generally on this. Mm-hmm. If civil society says this is the point that we're raising, argue with us on that.
Yeah.
Argue with us and say to us that, look here, you made this assumption, or you made this point, you're incorrect, or we did this. Do not do the ad hominem responses or attacks. Do not use those hyperbolic or those bombastic words. Use actual clear statements that you did this and you're incorrect there. No, having us in some way, putting us in a position that some people are cowering in fear. There are persons who now have to get armed security because of statements that are being said. Is incorrect and wrong. It's an open democracy that people have a right to participate in.
What do you say to those who say you don't split justice fairly? That you
I
see,
don't know what to split.
Yeah, let me.
I hope no police go try for be armed security for them. They move and go. See? I'm gonna say this. You see, oftentimes, we say that government is corrupt. I don't know if I choose me a labor right, I'm blind to it, but there's no country in the world where you can't find at least a little bit of corruption. But me can tell you right now, what go on in Jamaica, the country is in a good place. Better off, 100 times better off than where it is there. We can get some semblance of justice today under this government. See? And the government listens. The government listen. If I was the government, all of them look up something, me prescribe them as terrorist group, Shut down all their account them, Call my foreign counterpart them and tell them say tap give them funding, Cause me have the power to do it, That me don't do, See? I make them have to go out their yard broke and hungry. That me don't do because them have work against the agenda of the country. In England, do we have civil society groups? Yes, we do. But you don't never hear a man where a criminal and police go and kill him. None of them group that come out and say it wasn't justified. After when police go and investigate and find something that is untoward, we hear them come out and demand justice. Unless we have it on video or somebody make a complaint say something never. But you don't never see police turn up at one scene and somebody barricade themselves, for example, in one place and they have a weapon and police wipe them out. You don't never hear no group come out and say, otherwise. only in Jamaica because them benefit from the criminal and the criminality. You think then none of them not happy right now say crime are good on because they not benefit from it. See? Even some of the vlogger them, you know, they not know heap of story for report every day say 10,000 people dead there, so 10,000 people dead there. So see? So then thing a shibble down. And that happen with Jump and NIA and all of them. They not like say country a clean up. And that is something that all of we should be glad about. You know?
When there might be something requiring speaking up that affects the opposition, there's silence. Because you know there are some who say that.
National Integrity Action and civil society, it would be very difficult, and I'm using the word clear here, it would be very difficult to say to someone that is out of power, that is not in power, to say that they are one breaching a rule that is based upon governing. So, and I'm going to use, you're using the point about the people's national.
That not even make no sense. Because although Jamaica Labour Party, you know, lead the executive, the PNP is very much a part of the power base as well. Whenever there's nothing to be voted and whenever there's any change, both in the Senate and in the House of Commons or House of Representatives, JLP and PNP vote on things same way. And I like say JLP in a power, anything JLP say goes. We all know say no say go. So why would hold the opposition to account? Most Jamaicans think say I saw you go, you know. Say through JLP in a power. When they say I saw you go, and I saw you go. If I did saw you go, would I get independence already? Would I be a republic? Mark Golding who don't have a say in a hit. Mark Golding who do a hold up, you know. If I did saw you go. See? But you know, they can tell PNP that because PNP are not amongst the most educated, you know.
Party. If the people that say about they breach a rule, they breach a rule. But if the government, if the government is doing something wrong, they
wanna hear that? If the PNP break a rule, they break a rule. Yeah, you know where else we go with that. Cat just fly out of the bag, my people. Ricardo even look up. Ricardo, I wonder way I say. Can you tie up himself in a one not, you know?
Should be called out. This trying to say the whataboutism is absolutely incorrect. If you're in government, you're in government. I have no recollection of at any point where the people who are here.
Sometimes I'm glad for Cliff sometime, you know, because Ricardo gonna make that slide, you know. What you mean by the PNP break a rule and break a rule? You need to elaborate further upon that. I couldn't be an interview him.
Speaking haven't spoken out on things that are wrong, regardless of who is speaking. It is important to look at that. You speak out and you call out things.
So I hear you correct then that you don't think the civil society groups have any function to play in holding the opposition to account? Did I misunderstand that?
If the opposition has done something, they should be called out.
But the criticism is that when something seems amiss, there is not that calling out in the same consistent way that there is for the government, which is why I'm saying that the allegations that you don't split the justice evenly or fairly.
That the government, and I'm trying to be as understand as possible.
And by that you mean the executive?
Yeah, I'm saying, yeah. So the executive, right? It does something and it gets called out. And the response here is that why we aren't focused on the opposition? If the executive of the country is doing something, asking me why I'm not focused on the opposition is, I don't know if out of place is the right word. I'm not sure.
But if something at the same, let's say for argument's sake, something's happening at the same time and it's in the public domain. And it's been in the public domain for a while and there's silence. And then as soon as there's a misstep from the government, there's a comment, but there was silence when there was a similar misstep or a misstep of any kind from the opposition. Are you saying that in that instance, you don't think you have a duty or responsibility to speak on that?
I am saying that. And if you look at it always.
You are saying that.
No, sorry.
Sorry, I did. Oh,
No,
because
no.
I thought that's what you said.
I'm saying that as I was going to.
Oh, to say what you were saying. Okay, got you. Okay.
Yeah. When we're speaking about integrity in the public office, everybody who is in the public office should feel like we are speaking to them, of them, and about them. That's the first.
Okay.
The second thing is, at any point when someone and anyone else is creating an agenda to say, okay, how come they haven't spoken about this? How come they haven't spoken about that? I think they are more trying to muddy waters rather than asking us clearly what is our position on things. Because oftentimes, and this is me speaking from Gavin's point of view, oftentimes people have asked me, what have you said on something? When if they had done a cursory, they'll realize A, that I'd said something already, or B, that it's not within the remit of what the National Integrity Action or Gavin speaks on. So there's that bad face type of approach that happens sometimes.
No, we contrast something. I don't remember when the Prime Minister said, is either you face the judge or meet the maker. Jump, mama jump, papa jump, grandpapa jump, grandpapa jump, and God jump, and great God jump came out against the Prime Minister. I don't remember. I don't remember when Mark Golding stood on a political platform and said, the Dan them down a jungle give him a strength, and him going to take it to the labor right them. Can any of you remember jump, mama jump, papa jump, grandpapa jump, God jump, and great God jump saying anything in relation to that, saying Mark Golding should be condemned for saying something like that on a political platform? Can anybody remember any such statement from any of the civil society groups in Jamaica? Can anybody remember? Unless me not remember properly. So if you remember, you tell me.
And it distracts from the work that we're trying to do. Because we're not trying to gotcha anybody. We're trying to say Jamaica needs better and Jamaica deserves better and we need to work together.
Okay, so could there
nobody's wrong with that. You don't wrong me with that.
No, but could there be any truth then to the perception, and sometimes, perception it becomes reality, that the way the advocacy comes across, it feels like there's an attempt at gotcha. Would you accept that that is possible?
So perceptions are created by people, right? So if I deliver something to you and how you perceive it comes off a certain way, that's on you as much as possible. My role and my role in this is actually, one, to be clear about what it is that I'm saying, two, to tell you how it is constructed, and three, on top of that, is to reiterate that, look here, what we're aiming to is to build a better Jamaica. But what you find out, and this is most important than this, we're in a perception environment where certain actors have felt, first and foremost, that there should be no response or anyone should speak or after their phone or speak about what they've said, which is very difficult.
So essentially then the government ministers are just thin-skinned. There's no truth to
I
their...
have not called a government minister thin-skinned.
No, but you seem to be saying that you think the gentleman does protest too much.
What I'm clear on is this, that at no point any one of us should actually cower in fear to be called that we're using blood money when they get funding from the same source that the government gets funding from. That's one. And then two, that someone shouldn't give us the right to speak up because we have that. So I'm clear that Jamaicans generally have the right to speak up, and civil society speak up, the general public. So we have that. But I'm also very clear to say that when people do this, it has impact. When the state, when government, when ministers want to say that something is wrong, they have the right to say it. But we also have a right to say this is wrong too. And attempting to either force us to cover or to tell us that we cannot speak, it's wrong.
How would you assess the state of the relationship between civil society, broadly speaking, now, and the government?
I would, no, this is me speaking from National Integrity Action has worked in partnership with the government on different things. Within the Ministry of National Security, we do trainings, we do workshops, we have very great relationship within the Ministry of National Security and this has been under every Minister of National Security, including the present one. We have also worked with different ministers. We have worked in partnership because we are part of the broader civil society. We are on the Partnership Council. We're working in different working groups. We offer relationship building both in Jamaica, in the diaspora, and with other groupings. So we have great relationships there. Another thing I should point out, our advocacy in terms of people-to-people support is critical in reaching certain groups that feel underserved or the state has yet to reach. In fact, during Hurricane Mesta, we can speak about this, that civil society was one of the first people to reach in every community. So we have partners there. We are great partners.
Should Dr. Chang apologize?
No.
Dr. Chang should know what he has said. Dr. Chang should know what he has said is not in good faith, and he should do the right thing.
And what is that?
He should apologize. He should accept that whatever was happening, it was out of sync and out of place.
Dr. Gavin Myers, thank you. I appreciate it.
Dr. Chang will apologize when NIA and JAM and the next one, I forgot what you call. Anytime them apologize to we for always backing criminals and criminality. And then I apologize to the Jamaican public, we will get Dr. Chang to apologize to them. Other than that, they can kiss, erase away, kitty KY. Yeah. So, generally speaking, my people, Jamaica is in a good place. We are, going to build back our country. Our institutions are still in building mode. For Jamaica to be only 60 odd years old, we are doing very well. There are many, democracies in the world, that is not as good as Jamaica. Jamaica is making great strides in every part of society. These civil service groups, I am not saying they should not be there to watch over things. That is not what I am saying. But be fair, be balanced. They're not fair, they're not balanced, and it is clearly. And me don't know if most people blind, but me not blind. It is clear as day that they are apolitical, they are partisan, to one party, and if I was the security minister, I would start working with them, especially NIA and JAM. I would not work on JFJ. Sorry, I would not work with them. Anything that we need to do, we get outside agencies to come in and do training and do all kind of these things. See, we don't need them. Let them go on where them go. See, end of the day, they just attack. That's all they do, talk. Me no see the need for them. Because end of the day, police kill somebody unjustly, and it is found out to be so, at the court I go deal with it. And a jump and a NIA and the next one. See? JFJ. So end of the day, we don't really need them. So government know for write to their partners, tell their partners that these people are working, in the interest of the criminals. And we need to clean up Jamaica. We need to get some semblance of discipline back in our society. I don't see police are go like one time and murder people, because we used to get that. What I see now is police carrying out coordinated raids and trying to go after these criminals. Police actually have, a special branch that hunt down criminals, track them and hunt them down, by any means necessary. And that is what is happening now, my people. Coordinated, intelligence-driven policing, and it is not, we don't need JFJ and all of those things. We don't need it. I don't believe so. Under the PNP we did, and they never did anything. Under the PNP we really did need it. And they never did do anything that time. No, we don't need it. Maybe when PNP come back in power, we are going to need it again, because we know PNPs, they're a criminal enabling set and a criminal enterprise. Now, let's get into some news updates now, my people. The fact that they receive a salary from taxpayer, they should be held at the same standards as the government. Exactly. You know, him say it, you know, if you don't listen closely, him say, if the PNP do something, the PNP do something, basically. So, they're not supposed to be held accountable because they're not in government. See? I don't know how Ricardo make that slide, but I wouldn't. I'm knowing here because I'm seeing look up. See? But anyway, let's move on, my people. So we are going to have a JIS and now go listen to some news updates. So no listen. Good things happening in Jamaica, my people. Great things. No listen.
Hi there, everyone. Welcome to another exciting and informative edition of Jamaica Magazine. I'm Adrian Atkinson, turning the pages for you throughout this exciting half-hour journey. Coming up on the pages, opportunities for rural youth economic empowerment. Plus, we'll explore scientific innovation in healthcare using AI. You don't want to miss any of these and more exciting features. So sit back and relax as we turn the pages.
Have you seen any of these signs and are ready to buy land or property? Want to know who is the legal owner? Purchase a copy of the title using eLand Jamaica. With eLand Jamaica, you can do a title search and verify the owner of the property, ensuring they have the legal right to sell it. For more information, contact the National Land Agency at www.nla.gov.jm. Via telephone at 876-750-5263 or 876-946-5263. Email asknla@nla.gov.jm or message us on WhatsApp at 876-418-5089. The National Land Agency. One agency, one goal to serve.
Good day, I'm Theodore Henry, and this is your JIS News for Monday, February 23, 2026. The police and the Ministry of National Security and Peace will not relent in their efforts to dismantle criminal networks and disrupt the cycles of retaliation and gang conflict that place innocent lives at risk. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of National Security and Peace, Dr. Horace Chang, is giving that assurance in the wake of the killing of a 3-year-old child in Denham Town, West Kingston on Saturday. Preliminary reports indicate that the child was fatally shot amid a resurgence of gang violence linked to turf control in the area. The child's father and older brother were also shot and injured and remain hospitalized. In a statement, Dr. Chang has strongly condemned the senseless killing.
This news clip is from Monday, by the way, my people. The father of the child have succumbed to his injury. He died as well. So that mother is now mourning the loss of her partner and a child, my people, while her other child is nursing gunshot wounds. You know, and I must say the government need to step in now and nurture this family and make certain that this child, the one that is still alive, is taken care of, because we know where him I got pre now. I grew up in a ghetto now, then kill him father, kill him brother. We know where him I got pre now because of that me than I pray. See? So we'll continue to listen.
Which he says is a painful reminder that when violence erupts in our communities, it is often the most vulnerable who suffer the gravest consequences. The security minister is adamant that the perpetrators of this heinous act must and will be held accountable. He's urging anyone with information to come forward and assist the police so that those responsible may be apprehended and brought to justice. In the meantime, Dr. Chang says his ministry has reaffirmed its commitment to intensifying preventative strategies, asserting that enforcement alone is not sufficient to break the cycle of violence. He says the ministry continues to deepen partnerships across government and the private sector to fulfill its peace mandate and drive meaningful reductions in crime and violence, particularly acts that endanger Jamaica's children and families. Meanwhile, State Minister for National Security and Peace, Juliet Cuthbert-Flynn, says the institutional framework for Plan Secure Jamaica is now firmly in place. The goals are being carried out under Phase 1 of the Citizen Security Plan, CSP, with notable progress to date. These include Cabinet's approval of the CSP in 2020, the establishment of the Citizen Security Secretariat, strengthening of monitoring and evaluation systems, and effective implementation of the plan. Another important factor is the establishment of a business working group that is ensuring a whole-of-government approach to implementation and problem solving.
Phase 2 of the security plan now builds on this strong foundation. Its focus will be on program sustainability and expanded emphasis on peace building and non-violence, deeper coordinated partnerships, enhanced communication and citizens' engagement, and greater innovation and creativity in our delivery.
Minister Cuthbert-Flynn was addressing the 4th annual security seminar of the Office of the National Security Advisor recently. She says citizen security interventions will be extended beyond designated zones of special operations, ZOSO communities, to disaster-affected areas and other volatile communities. That includes areas where gains have been eroded with the passage of Hurricane Melissa.
Citizen security is not merely about suppressing crime. It is about building resilience. It's about restoring trust and strengthening families. When people feel supported, when they feel heard and invested in, violence loses its appeal.
The Security State Minister adds that government will continue to scale up its comprehensive approach to address the root causes of crime and violence through targeted investments in social interventions. In other news, the National Housing Trust NHT will begin construction of 10,675 new housing solutions in the 2026-2027 financial year, which starts April 1. A total of 5,673 solutions, comprising a mix of residential lots and houses, will be delivered to market during the period. The information is contained in the Jamaica Public Body's Estimates of Revenue and Expenditure for the year ending March 2027, which was tabled in the House of Representatives on February 12. The document notes that the solutions to be delivered will be constructed under various NHT programs, such as the Joint Venture and Guaranteed Purchase Programs, the Community Renewal Initiative, and individual loans. Planned capital expenditure includes $50.3 billion for the commencement and completion of these housing solutions. The trust will also facilitate the processing of 5,424 mortgage loans and continue to improve existing schemes at a cost of $189.95 million. Improvement works are slated for Helcher Phase 2 in St. Catherine, Industry Pen in St. Mary, Longvale Phase 3 in Clarendon, and Ruthven Communal Facilities in Kingston. Still on the budget, $223 million has been allocated to expand access to potable water in rural areas in the new financial year. As outlined in the estimates of expenditure, the money will be spent on the preparation of engineering designs, institutional strengthening of Rural Water Supply Limited, and strengthening of gender and social communication plans. Funded by the Jamaican government in partnership with the Caribbean Development Bank, the project is expected to provide potable water service in non-utility service areas across several parishes. Once completed, residents of Agualta Vale and Mesa, Albert Town in Trelawney, Kemps Hill, Clarendon, Union Balaclava in St. Elizabeth, and the Port Morant Airy Castle scheme in St. Thomas will have improved water supply. Total project cost was initially estimated at $4.7 billion, but was later revised to $5.7 billion. It is expected to be completed in March of 2029. And finally, government will be moving ahead with the acquisition of 100 brand new purpose-built rural school buses in the upcoming financial year. Transport Minister Darrell Vaz says the original target of 150 units has been scaled back following the fiscal impact of Hurricane Melissa. In the meantime, though, he says Phase 2 of the rural school bus program has already begun.
So we are moving from the used school buses, purpose-built. We have gone through expressions of interest We have concluded on the specifications based on all our due diligence across Asia, America, Europe, and the responses to that expression of interest has brought us information to be able to develop the specifications. And after speaking to the Minister of Finance today, we are now preparing to go to PIAB, Public.
So me just want to point something out too, no? So the acquisition of the used buses, my people. See? The acquisition of the used buses. So the reason why we bought the used ones, although they were in pristine condition, a lot of them, is to run a pilot program. Is to see how well they would have done in the Jamaican terrain. You know, how well it would have carried the pitney them, build capacity. That is why you're not buying new vehicle if you do them something there. That would have been waste of money. Because when you buy it, one, them are going to lick up because people are going to learn to drive them because they're big and long. Two, you know, we need to see how they handle the terrain. See? So the new buses will come alongside these old ones that are already there. Eventually, we will phase out the older one. We can use some of them as training buses. We can send some of them in a general, you know, for carry people or sell them to churches and them thing there. But, you know, when you run a pilot program, you don't buy a new vehicle. You buy a used vehicle and see how best they handle things. See? So now we can buy proper ones, purpose-built ones, and newer ones that will last longer. See? I can't tell you about the UK. Probably every 5 years or so, them get rid of the old fleet and get in some new one. See? Me not think Jamaica will have the money to do it every 5 years, but at least every 10. You know? So if we buy a new one, then can last 10 years. And, you know, even the new ones will get licked up same way. Because I just say go, a part of hit my people. But you know, buy brand new buses for run pilot program. And when PNP complain about 1.4 billion, that a change when you buy a bus. One of them new bus they will cost a couple million sometime. Just work for one. See? Well, especially when them purpose build and retrofit, then cost a lot of money for one. You have to talk about 70,000, 80,000 US, 90,000 US, 100,000 US, 120,000 US for one. See? So when we buy them all one for 1.4 billion, I change that, my people. Change. See?
Investment Appraisal Branch of the Ministry of Finance.
Minister Vaz was speaking at a recent press briefing where he also announced that 100 new buses would be added to the fleet of the Jamaica Urban Transit Company.
We have 100 additional new buses for JUTC for the regular KNTR. So that last tranche of 100 buses will be done in the 27-28 financial year, along with the third phase of the rural school bus. So we have 110 plus 100.
So to make certain, so remember this, you know, we in a phase 2. So we had 110 rural school bus. They're getting another 100. It was meant to be 150 in a second phase. Then revise it down to 100. There will be a third phase, my people. See? So next year, when time on here, so our next 100 bus will come and PNP start ball out. So we did buy 100 old school bus, and buy 100 new one, now buy 100 more. The minister said from last year, this year, say the third phase are gonna come. See? So remember that, right?
So we hope that we will be able in the third phase to make up for the shortfall of the 50 and get another 200 rural school buses, which will take us to the 400 that we had indicated with what would be required to properly service a rural school bus.
And that's it for JIS News today. I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.
Every procuring entity, transparency does not end at contract award. Once a contract is awarded, including emergency contracts, the law requires that a contract award notice be published on GOJA. Emergency contract award notices must be uploaded within 30 days and clearly state the name of the specific emergency contract awarded, the supplier and justification for their selection, the contract award date and value, the duration and current status of the contract, the detailed justification for using emergency procurement. These requirements are mandatory. Contract award notices must be timely, accurate, and complete. Upload it, get it right, and do it on time. Transparency is not optional. It is the standard that ensures public trust and accountability.
Food is the staff of life, and rural youth are being empowered to play a critical role in supporting the country's food security while building sustainable livelihoods. We now turn the pages for a look at the program providing these youngsters with training in areas related to agriculture and livestock production, fisheries, and agro-processing.
Here's a fresh perspective. Agriculture is no longer just about growing food. It's about transformation. It's about empowering young people, building communities, and driving economic change. The Jamaica 4-H clubs charged with connecting youth and agriculture understands this best. It's why they're at the helm of one of the island's most impactful initiatives, the Rural Youth Economic Empowerment Program, REAP.
The Rural Youth Economic Empowerment Program, REAP, is the flagship program implemented by the Jamaica 4-H clubs, which is geared towards increasing the interest of youth in agriculture in Jamaica. The program is a collaborative effort between Jamaica 4-H clubs and partners such as the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining and Hart NSDA Trust.
REAP is divided into two main tracks. The starter program targets young farmers who are new to the sector. Each year, under this stream, more than 200 young people between the ages of 18 to 35 years receive training, coaching, and business support, helping them to take their first steps into the world of agriculture. Then there's the Builder program, tailored to meet the needs of young farmers who already have at least 1 year of experience running their agricultural business.
Under the Rebuilder program, through direct support NSDA Trust, we provide support to 100 youth through training, coaching, mentorship, as well as extension service. We provide support to persons who are interested in apiculture, goat production, broiler production, fisheries, crop production, as well as piggery. Our trainers and coaches provide hand-holding support over a 6-month period where participants receive in-field visits to receive guidance as it relates to their operations and strategies that they can incorporate to improve their effectiveness as well as their yields. Our unique approach under the Rebuilder program is to ensure that we're not just providing capacity building, but we're providing persons with direct support, which is what a lot of persons struggle with. For example, inputs. We do know that at the startup level, it's difficult to access financing or resources to get started. So we provide the direct materials and equipment. We also connect them with other ecosystem players. So whether it is for additional business development, whether it is to formalize their business, whether it is to use physical spaces for production, etc.
Through partnerships with the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining, participants in both programs gain access to land, financing and
Just let me know, Dennis. Me can get the 2 first goat. A man one and a woman one. Anytime you're ready, you just tell me. See?
Cultural supplies, essential resources to start or expand their business.
We recognize that youth play a pivotal role in advancing our agricultural sector, particularly as it relates to the incorporation of technology. They have a natural interest in utilizing technologies to support how it is that we currently operate within this space. We are now focused on ensuring that our youth are provided spaces within this program to bring the knowledge that they already have as it relates to technology and to combine that with new information that they receive through the program so that we are not just relying on the archaic methods that have proven to be less than effective.
How can you of this program?
The recruitment process entails submission of an application, whether online or through their parish offices. Thereafter, the applications are reviewed. Shortlisted applicants are invited for an interview at their parish office, where a panel of judges will review their application to determine their suitability for the program. Once we have completed that process, persons are invited to participate in the training. We try to ensure that no one is left behind.
REAP is open to youth across all parishes, and with hundreds already trained, Jamaica is well on its way to cultivating a new generation of informed farmers and agripreneurs.
That is a government initiative under Flight Green, my people. So big up Flight Green. Young mind, fresh mind, innovative mind, you know, and he's doing a brilliant job in that ministry. Although this is not in this news clip, I must tell you, the government have a program for young mothers, single mothers, and females who go to prison. You know, they have a program where, you know, they are training those young persons and certifying them. So when they come back from jail or prison, they can you know, make something of themselves. You know, so that is another initiative. I believe it is Olivia Babsy Grange that is spearheading that. You know, there are mothers in jail that have young babies as well. The government is intervening in that to make sure that, you know, those children are taken care of and the mothers get the necessary help that they need. So when they come back, you know, they can be good mothers to those children and find a job, you know. And we are, as a nation, making all efforts to, you know, to fill up the job market with Jamaicans, right? So all who skin out in the yard and don't want to go work, no get up go look work, no to work list. Anyway, you continue to listen.
Children are the future, and ensuring our future is healthy requires that children are always provided with nutritious foods to grow well and live long. Unhealthy diets high in sugar, salt, and fat consumed by children may make them obese and prone to non-communicable diseases later in life. Healthy foods and beverages not only help them learn better, but also protects them from non-communicable diseases such as some cancers, diabetes, hypertension, and cardiovascular diseases in their childhood and adult life. So, whether it's at home, in the lunch bag, or at school, let's make healthy foods and beverages for our children the only rule.
Artificial intelligence is transforming healthcare, enhancing diagnostics.
This is the part I want to hear. No listen good, so I can't tell no friend and family them. See, so Jamaica is going places in healthcare.
And the possibilities of health for all. In our next feature, we'll explore scientific engineering innovation in health using artificial intelligence to detect diseases of the eye.
Emerging technologies such as artificial intelligence, AI, and machine learning is revolutionizing nearly all industries, including healthcare. From development of drugs and vaccines to improving medical diagnosis and treatment, technology is a game changer, lowering costs and improving efficiency. And as the global health ecosystem rapidly evolves, Jamaica is taking on a proactive role.
The world is moving in that direction. Incorporation of AI is becoming a big thing. And so it becomes very relevant to what we see here in Jamaica.
At the University of the West Indies UWI Mona campus, Ricardo Harrison, who is in his final year as an engineering student, developed a prototype to detect diabetic retinopathy using artificial intelligence AI-powered computer vision. The project was guided by proposers from the University of Leeds in the United Kingdom, Gerardo Loza and Nikita Greenidge, and supervised by Head of Biomedical Engineering at UWI Mona, Sasha Gay Wright.
Within the Faculty of Engineering, in their final year, all of our students are required to do what is called a capstone project. So this is a year-long project where students try to create a prototype or create a solution to a need that exists. Now, in order to get these capstone projects, we'll either propose them as lectures, or we'll invite persons from society, persons from industry, as well as persons within the academic space, such as our collaborators.
Here we go in our country, we have engineer develop prototype to problems that we have in our society, my people. So potentially, you know, we might not have to go foreign again for enough things. But we are going foreign for. See? And it will bring down the cost as well. That happening in Jamaica. See?
So this particular project was a proposal made by the University of Leeds, and we gave it out to the students, and Ricardo chose it.
Diabetic retinopathy, DR, is a complication of diabetes affecting the eyes and is a leading cause of blindness among working-age adults and a major cause of vision loss worldwide for people aged 30 to 64 years. Integrating AI as part of the diagnostic tools is significant for early detection and prompt intervention to mitigate the risk of vision loss and prevent visual impairment in over 90% of DR cases.
The whole purpose of this project is to create a system that is able to capture a photo of the retina, and from that photo, the system is able to view different or process different parts of the image to tell whether or not it's severe, proliferative, moderate, mild, or healthy eye.
The innovative solution is intended to provide an alternative for low-resource hospitals, where typical diagnostic machines are large, expensive, and unportable. It's a model that improves on existing solutions by offering a lightweight, locally deployable system with a user-friendly interface designed for non-specialist healthcare workers. And it's a model Harrison believes can benefit many persons in Jamaica and the Caribbean, where access is limited.
There has been many others out there, but they use different deep learning techniques. Mine specifically use ResNet 152 version 2, and with that, it has very deep layers, and due to the complexity of these diabetic retinopathy images and the subtle details between them, I would need a model such as that to be able to distinguish effectively between those. So I use a 20D lens, and the 20D lens zooms in onto the back of the retina 3.3 times, and I use a smartphone to capture the photo that is shown in front of the lens. And from that photo, I then upload it to Google. So I hosted a model on Google, which after the photo is uploaded, the model processes the photo, looks for subtle details within the image to say, hey, this shows signs of an healthy eye or diabetic retinopathy, and with that, it sends it back to the app and displays it on the phone.
To further support diabetic healthcare, the system also includes a patient monitoring feature that tracks vitals such as heart rate, blood pressure, body temperature, and oxygen level, providing a more comprehensive patient health assessment.
To measure the blood pressure, you need to go to this page here. As you can see, it says the status is connected, meaning it's connected to this device here.
The challenge to build out the model was a first for Harrison, but one which he prides on his own drive to conquer every challenge and provide a solution to a problem.
I've never really taken on any project that involved AI before, and from my perspective, I like a good challenge. I had the help of my supervisors and my lecturers. Along with that, I had a data set from Kaggle, which I used to train the model. The road was tough and it was pretty tiresome, but with the support of my peers, I was able to effectively complete the project.
Based on the performance of the entire system, this young, bright Jamaican is hoping to have his new diagnostic machine integrated in the clinical setting, which will reduce the money spent on expensive devices benefiting the public.
Within the Caribbean, there tend to be not enough of these devices to aid in diabetic retinopathy.
I feel so proud of Harris, my people. I'm not telling you no lie. I feel proud of him. That Jamaican invent a machine, my people. One that potentially I go sell over a world, Mighty God.
Detection. So my project is really aimed at creating something that's cost-effective and easily integratable, and makes the whole process easier for the healthcare professionals. It's at 78% ready for integration in hospitals. And I'm very interested in seeking more opportunities or more support in bringing it further and possibly increasing its current percentage integration. Hopefully with external support and a more effective and good quality camera, I will be able to at least achieve 95% for integration.
The amount of sugar persons consume tend to affect their vision later in life. And while moderation is urged in consumption, early eye checks is critical to avoid the unfortunate socioeconomic burden associated.
We know though. We know say sugar linked to loss of vision later on in life. And that's why when we get old, we can't see. I eat a sugar we are nam over here, I drink quid shade and sitting. See?
with diabetes and its optical complications.
There isn't a tendency for these persons to go by the hospital to say, hey, I need to check to see if I have diabetic retinopathy. A lot of them don't even know what diabetic retinopathy is. So I think with the inclusion of this device into hospitals, it will bring more awareness.
As the innovative minds of our youth continue to sprout in key areas of development, Jamaica, through institutions such as our universities, is cementing a bright future where AI and machine learning is set to transform healthcare and contribute to better patient outcomes in an economically sustainable way. Jamaica Post is committed to being your preferred logistics partner. Enjoy the convenience of 3 to 5 days for international shipments at competitive rates and next business day delivery for local packages. Take advantage of our fast, reliable and ever-evolving services. Zip Mail, Click and Ship, Fast Track, EMS, Parcel Service, Registered Mail, Corporate Mail Service and Private Letterbox. Access customer service support and track packages online. Visit our post offices island-wide and premium service centers at select locations. For more information, go to jamaicapost.gov.jm. Conditions apply.
Jamaica, Jamaica.
Now Jamaica coming through.
All right, my people. So, great innovations are going on in Jamaica, and that's not the only one. You know, there are a lot of others, and the Prime Minister is, you know, inviting parents when you see when the children them take a liking to certain things and if you nurture it, you know, and make certain say, you know, don't discourage them. Because back in the day you find enough artists, we are good artists today, and make millions of dollars. Them parents used to tell them say they don't have to do that and that on the road for go. See? So it is important to get an education, but when we see youth them have some kind of talent, we must nurture it. You know, Jamaica 2341 said, DUJON, I'm asking you again, where is Marlon? Where is the caller Marlon? Jamaica 2341 mega ask you, where is the caller Marlon? Me don't know when they I see you there come every day too. Just like you. Me don't know when the Marlon alright when the man. When Marlon ready, Marlon will present himself. See? So all in all, my people, great things are happening in Jamaica. You know, and our government continue to pursue great things. You know, things that fell by the wayside while the PNP was there. We are literally building over the country. You know, Marlon soon present himself, man. You know, worry yourself. Marlon soon come about. You know, maybe Marlon now current when there. See? So anyway, my people, we're going to call the live at this juncture. I wanted to give all of those information this morning. I will soon know later on in the day. See? So big up all 120 persons who is still here. Big up all 100 persons who gave me a thumbs up. See? And I will soon know later on. See? Please subscribe if you're not yet a subscriber. Much love. Much respect. Shower liberates.